Paul, what do you think it's like to be a woman in this male-dominated industry? Good, bad, challenges?
Well, I'm going to start by saying that I don't think it's easy being a woman in the automotive industry. I have been in the car business in 5 different decades, starting in the 80s and through the 90s and right till today. And I think the biggest change I've noted is that, first of all, the industry has changed dramatically. The number of women working in the industry has grown significantly, probably in the last 10 years more so, and that the sort of gender-biased view of what the auto industry should be has changed dramatically. And you know, I think we see that not only here in our dealership, but especially in our group, Waynes Canada. You know, there's always been that culture of, you know, hire people on their skills, their abilities, and their attitude. But you know, sadly, there is still a large portion of this industry that does have gender bias, that closes doors to women. And, you know, even in your role, you know, a female service manager, you know, not too many years ago was unheard of.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're blessed that, first of all, we have you here, but we've seen a number of women come into our group to carry on that same role. So it's a challenging role, and I think being able to accept someone for their abilities and not based on where they came from or what their sexual orientation is really important for us. And I still think there's a lot of challenges, and I'm sure you've felt that in your career, but you know, I think it's probably still full of obstacles, but in a much better place than I think it's ever been. So Tara, you know, now that I've sort of talked, I think, a little bit about what the industry's like, I mean, what's it like for you being a woman in the automotive industry?
Well, I definitely have a challenge every single day that I wake up realizing, but I think my challenge is a lot easier than it was 10 years ago. And I think the challenge is a lot easier at being a part of Waynes as well, because there is other females that are in management roles within our dealer groups, which is helpful. You have some other females that you can bounce ideas off of, but the challenge with being a female service manager is more so not internal, it's more with our external customers, because they always assume when you call and you talk to the receptionist, I want to talk to the service manager. And then I answer the phone and, hi, my name's Tara, I'm the service manager, how can I help you? And they went, oh. And their whole demeanor changes, that's for sure. And sometimes it's a change for the better with how they, how they speak and with their tone. So it makes a big difference, but it's definitely a change that is for the better. I remember 15 years ago when I was working in the shop, and there was a customer that came in and said, I don't want her working on my car. And I said, okay, no problem. Give it to somebody else, but you can't let it get you down.
It just doesn't, it's not acceptable, and it's not something that that we're prepared to tolerate, and those guests have been made aware of that. And several of them have had conversations after they've left the building from me saying that they are no longer welcome to do business with us. If they can't come in and treat people equally and fairly and with respect, then, you know, it doesn't matter how much money you have in your wallet. That's not the way that we run our business. And, you know, that's an important standard, I think, that we uphold. We have our, you know, our code of conduct on the wall. And, you know, from our president down, you know, it's a respect-based business that we operate. And so it's important. It's important for people to recognize that we stand behind our people, and we stand behind the way that our people are treated, and and respect is a big part of that, right?
Absolutely.
Did you hire Tara, or was she?
Yeah.
So what exactly made you make that decision?
Well, I think for me, you always want to hire. You want to hire the best of the best. You want to have the greatest ability and the most skills, and you want to have all of those things. But I think the biggest thing that stood out for me with Tara was she didn't have a lot of experience in the level of the role that she's in now. But like any of the decisions that I think we've made here at Whitby Subaru, we hire people based on their attitude. I like about Tara she's very determined, very energetic, and a very smart individual. And you can hire that, but is the person going to bring that to work every day with them? And I think for me, I saw that in Tara, and the lack of experience was not daunting for me. I think it actually, I've done that a number of times in my career. It's actually increased my workload and my stress level, but the end result is to the benefit of not only me and Tara, but to our business, that we grow this together and become successful together. So by far the best candidate that I met, and truthfully, since I've been here, we're partners in this business. So.
Paul, how do you think that I handle all of these challenges?
I think there's ups and downs. We've had some challenges together. I know you've had some challenges personally in navigating this role. But if you look at how you're succeeding today, and I'm as hard on myself as I am on anybody else, second guessing and making decisions, but I think you've grown into the role substantially. And we had this conversation recently, and we talked about looking backwards now to where we started together, and where you started in this role, and where we are today. And we started way down here, and we're here. We still might have to get to here, but we've come so far, and you've grown so much as an individual, and as a manager, and as a team leader, and that success is felt in your department. And I think the biggest thing for me is that you've truly earned the respect of your team and your peers. And I think if we can continue to grow together, and you can keep learning and becoming better, the opportunity is yours to grow into. And we've had those conversations a couple of times, and you know how I feel about that. So
I do.
I think you've done a tremendous job, and
Thank you, Paul.
she's like I said, Tara's a big part of our success, and couldn't do it without her. So.
Thank you, Paul.
Based on your experiences to date, and what we've seen here in your growth, going forward, what are the things that you might need or might challenge yourself with to continue to exceed in what has been a male-dominated industry, although changing every single day?
That's a very complicated question.
Take it one step at a time.
Well, I don't think being a woman changes what I need versus what any other service manager would need.
Right.
Or female manager versus a male manager would need. We all still will need the same respect and trust from our team.
Yeah.
And that always has to be earned, whether you're a male or a female. I think that our team here respects everybody the same. I don't think that I have ever felt that I'm a woman that's managing a team versus I'm just a person managing a team. So I think it's hard to really I guess differentiate me being a female with our team, because it's always just kind of been that type of respect. Yes, we did have some bad apples when we first started.
True.
That did not see any type of respect for a female being in the position. And they chose to leave based on me being a female. But I think the team that we have now, and there's a lot of the same people that, when I'm interviewing anybody to start the job, they know that I'm a female and that I manage this team. So it goes kind of hand in hand where there's no question about it, and immediately they give the respect because I'm respecting them by having them come in.
Yeah, and we see that for sure. For sure. I mean, I think from a business point of view, and for me personally as a general manager, I think the opportunity is to provide the resources and the training, and I think most importantly, the support and the understanding of what each of my managers and my team needs on a daily basis, and truthfully just trying to be there to support you. And the good thing about the time that we've worked together is that if you have needed something, we always talk about it, and there's no surprises, and we might stub our toe every once in a while.
I did this morning.
Yes, literally. Yeah, I hate that. But we certainly work through it and find the best solution. So, as far as I'm concerned, and again, I know I've said this, but I don't see gender in terms of who works for us here. I see the people that do what they do for us every day, and I see people who are equals and work together and try and grow together and try and make work a good place to come to, because we spend so much time here, and it's important that we have that. So, I think hopefully that gives you the confidence to come in here every day and do the best you can.
Absolutely.